Hello, 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 everybody. And once again, thank you so much for riding with us during this summit. It's been a great time. I love doing these virtual summits because you guys get to not only watch us from the comfort of your home, you get to check out some amazing information by these amazing speakers. So definitely, guys, keep checking your email to see which speakers coming up, when the next interview is coming up, when the next presentation is coming up, and we're going to continue to have a whole lot of fun. So I have an awesome guest on today, and here's why she's so awesome, because we all need encouragement, right? We all need more encouragement. We all need more enlightenment. We all need like a boost of motivation. And one of the things I know, especially with me building a successful business and being a mom and all those things, sometimes encouragement is hard to find. And more oftentimes you need a little bit of help with that. So I'm going to bring Karen on. She's actually your number one encouragement agent. Hello, Karen. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. And I just want to first say before we get started, thank you so much for being a part of this summit. This is something that people definitely need to hear and know about, but definitely introduce yourself to everyone who's seen you for the first time.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Karen Perkins, and as Leticia said, I am your number one encouragement agent. And I help busy moms come out of the shadows of silence by providing signature coaching and other resources to help you finally speak up for yourself, live the life that you deserve. And I do all of that inside of my Perfectly You tribe on Facebook. And you can catch the link to that and some other information about me at beperfectlyu.com. That's beperfectlyu.com.
That's right. That's right. So let's get into these questions, because a lot of these questions me personally can totally relate to. And one of the first questions I want to ask you is, why do women put everyone else's wants, needs, desires in front of their own? Why is that? We know that we do it, but why do we do it? Go ahead.
Well, I think there's lots of different reasons. For one, many of us, not all of us, but many of us are just naturally givers, nurturers.
Mm-hmm.
And, we play house as kids, and, we're doing all the cooking and the cleaning and washing dishes. I mean, imitating what we've already seen our moms do.
Right.
And yeah, partially that, the roles that society puts on us of what little girls are supposed to be like. And wow, that's really challenging me as an educator to watch how I treat boys and girls differently, because I'm old school. I like boys to be gentlemen, but you got that gender equity thing. So yeah, and some of us, unfortunately, were taught that quiet is good. And I watched that in the classroom also, if you're up making noise, you're probably going to get in trouble. But if you're sitting down quiet, then they think you're a good student, even though you may not be getting what's going on in the classroom, but you're not making noise. So they think you're a good student. So a lot of it has to do with the way we're raised. And we're taught that, being quiet is good. And so we learn to be quiet.
Wow. I didn't know you was going to say that. I did not. But it's so true. Yeah, because you're not necessarily noticed when you're quiet, but there is sometimes problematic things happen in silence. You're creating these internal problems when you're not standing out, when you're not being voiceful. So I totally get that. But sometimes we continue on with that, being quiet in our relationships, and being quiet with raising children by not addressing things. Yeah.
My daughter challenges that every day.
My kids do
she
too.
is not quiet.
Right. And I even know, as a parent, like, I have 5 children, and one of them, we was just talking about Tori Marie before we hopped on here. I call Tori Marie my social media baby, because she's like one out of all my kids. She's one of the kids that y'all got to see her grow up on social media, even from the day she was born. I was in labor and all that stuff. Had her in the car and everything. So even though she's still sort of like the middle child, even though Warren's more the middle child than she is, but I noticed that she can be reserved and quiet. I always tell her, like, give her that extra attention to know that she's not the lost child out of all the other children. So I totally love that you said that. It brings me to my next question: is what is keeping women from becoming the best versions of themselves? Because I know that you mentioned that's some of the breakthroughs that you create for women, but what is keeping us from becoming that best version of ourselves?
One thing is not wanting to step out of that role that we've learned so well, and
Right.
being labeled as aggressive or bossy
Ooh,
or
that's
other
mine too,
words that we
Lord.
can't say on this broadcast.
Yes. Yeah.
If a man is aggressive, then that's
Mm,
great. He's a
mm.
leader, take
We
charge. But if a
celebrate
woman's
that.
that way,
Mm,
sometimes it's not so great for her. So that's one of the things that keeps us down. And another thing is fear.
yeah. Yeah.
I remember going through times where, I mean, like weight, for example.
Mm,
If I try this diet and it doesn't work, then I'm a failure. But if I just don't try, then I haven't failed.
right. Right.
Bad thinking, but that's the way it
Yes.
is sometimes. We'd rather
Absolutely.
stay the way we are than to try something different.
You're so right. And it's that aspect of what does that vision looks like. Like we can't all create our own vision of ourselves, our own version of ourselves. We could create multiple versions of ourselves. I feel like my identity as an entrepreneur is different as my identity as a wife or a mom or things like that. I feel like you can't be the same all the way around. I think there'll be like a little bit of conflict there. So you gotta create some form of segmentation. But again, going back to the question, what is keeping women from that is like they have to tap into what is that version of themselves.
Right.
Yeah, I really love that question.
And
Yeah.
often we just haven't seen it done. So we don't know.
Right. No blueprint. Yeah. Maybe our mom was the mom that was reserved, or maybe the women in our lives. Like I know in my life, I had women that, yeah, was semi-aggressive, was semi had a negative approach to expressing their feelings, and more often than not. So I sort of adapted that early on. But I totally get what you're saying. Like we don't have that blueprint to go off of. So now we're stepping into territories that's not familiar to us, which can also bring difficulty. But for you, Karen, you've been a client of mine for a long time, and those of you who are watching, I have clients that stay in my community, my network for years, and I love that. And I've seen you evolve, and I see you grow. I see you continuously growing. I'm so proud of you. But how have you evolved in this journey to create that better version of Karen that you're able to teach other women to do the same?
A big thing is just realizing that it's okay.
Yeah,
Everybody's not the same. Everybody's not supposed to be the same.
that's
And
right.
it's okay to be who you are. And some people will like it, some people won't. Those who are for you will be for you, and those who aren't. There's a lot of people in the world. So we can't get hung up on those people that can't deal with it. We just got to keep rolling with those people who really are in our circle.
That's right. Your circle is so important. So important, the people that you're around, because they like water to your soil, in a sense. Like you're the plant,
Yes.
and they just allow you to grow and evolve. And that's why one thing that I do is it's so important for me is to stay around women who take action, because I feed off of action more than anything. I don't look at people's mistakes and say, "Oh God, that's bad." I'm like, "Oh, you made that mistake. How did you resurrect? How did you take action from that?" And so
What did you learn?
yes, you got to find whatever you guys want to be in life. Find other women who are doing that, and that will keep you going and moving. Or they don't even have to be doing the same thing as you. I follow women who are coaches, who are service providers, women who are network marketers. Sometimes I hop on lives and I'm just watching. I'm not buying anything. I'm not, but I'm still supporting, their algorithms and stuff. But it just that fuels me. Action, action, action fuels me. So now let's dive into this, guys, because again, we're doing this, we do interviews, and we also give you guys access to all the speakers' presentations. So I'm looking forward to your presentation, Karen. And if you could just let everybody know what your presentation is going to be about.
Well, just what we've been talking about, how sometimes as women, we try so hard to meet other people's expectations and
That's
their
right.
needs and put ourselves on the back burner, like way back until it's too late almost. You know,
Yes, yes,
we're
yes.
burnt out, and then we're angry and
Hmm.
just a mess.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just talk about how trying to meet other people's expectations really can be harmful to you in many ways,
Yes.
mentally, emotionally, physically. Even stress is really physically damaging to you. And that
Hmm.
that was something that was eye-opening to me. It's not just an internal thing. It can really mess you up in a lot
That's
of
right.
ways.
That's right.
And financially, if you're sick, you can't go to work, you can't make
Nope.
money, it's just bad business.
Right. And I'm so glad you're going to be talking about these things. You're going to be addressing these things. Those of you will be able to come on and ask, questions. Karen's going to be definitely active in the chat and answering them. But more importantly, Karen, I'm so glad once again that you're a part of this summit. And I look forward to your presentation. I know everyone in the audience does. And yeah, thank you.
I am excited too.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So, guys, make sure you check your email and see when Karen's presentation is going to go live. You definitely don't want to miss it. And I'll check you guys out over there. Bye, y'all.